Hello, I'm Alan Seibert, the Republican candidate for sheriff here in Frederick County. Thank you for joining us again today. As you may have seen in our first video, I explained how the current administration is demonstrating poor fiscal management. Today, I'm going to expand on that view by showing you further evidence of that fact. Number one, vehicle maintenance. The Sheriff's Office currently has 198 vehicles on its capital assets list. 198 vehicles for 135 sworn law enforcement officers. Wow. That in itself is poor management. But what about the maintenance on these vehicles? Simple routine maintenance adds up, so contractual pricing with local vendors is important to assure that money is not being wasted. So how does Mr. Milholland go about this? Because these businesses chose to support me, he has the deputies taking their vehicles to vendors that are charging more and taking more time to get the job done. Number two, overtime. Most agencies do everything they can to curtail overtime. Even doing the best they can, overtime will always be a necessary evil. However, there are several things that you can do to keep costs down to the taxpayer. Offset shifts, free days, and having supervisors cover shift when needed. Does Mr. Milholland do any of this? No. He does the opposite. He does everything he can to make sure the overtime budget is always overspent. In one case, a deputy obtained approval to swap shifts with another deputy so he could have a day off. Mr. Milholland overruled the decision and had the covering deputy work the shift as overtime. That has now become the standard with sign-up sheets posted for overtime. So where does this take us? In the last 3.5 years of Mr. Milholland's tenure as sheriff. During this time, the annual overtime budget has risen. Not by 10%, not by 20%, not even close. The overtime budget has doubled from $450,000 to $900,000. That is just in overtime. Most law enforcement agencies attempt to keep their annual budget to small increases each year, often not more than 5%. A good steward of taxpayer money will even have times where the following year's budget is less than the previous year. From 2009 to 2013, former Sheriff Williamson was able to have a reduction each year. From 2006 to 2016, the Frederick County Sheriff's Office budget increased by $4 million. From 2016 to 2020, Mr. Milholland has increased the budget by $4.1 million. That's correct. He has increased the budget more in 4 years than Sheriff Williamson did in 10 years. Mr. Milholland has also spent more money each year than he was budgeted. I wish I could continue to write checks when there was no money left in my account. Well, it's the taxpayers' money. As your sheriff, this will stop. I will reduce overtime, appropriately deploy resources, contract fair and just prices with good vendors, implement and manage the budget appropriately, making sure that the taxpayer has a positive return on their investment. Please continue to check out our Facebook page and website for how I will make a positive impact as your sheriff. May God bless and keep each and every one of you.